There's been a growing interest in researching family ancestry, and many people have learned something interesting, some very interesting facts about their heritage.
Yes, and that includes one man from Holland. Many of us are familiar with Hopwood DePree, who brought us the Waterfront Film Festivals for so many years. His latest adventure, though, takes him across the pond to England, where he is renovating his 600-year-old family estate named Hopwood Hall. I sat down with him to hear more about what he affectionately calls Downton Shabby.
This is the photograph that changed Hopwood DePree's life.
It totally shocked me.
There it was in black and white, Hopwood Hall. He discovered the photo late one night while researching his family's ancestry.
Really?
He remembered his grandfather telling him about a grand castle along the English countryside.
It seemed like all these stories he had told me as a boy that I always thought were bedtime stories or a fairy tale was actually a real place.
And he had to go see it. In 2013, he booked a trip to Manchester, England, and traveled 7 miles to Middleton.
I found it.
And Hopwood Hall.
I was absolutely mesmerized to know that it was real and to walk into the doors.
For hundreds of years, Hopwood Hall stood strong, but now the castle was beginning to crumble under years of neglect, and Hopwood was going to save it.
To walk through the halls of the hall and know that my ancestors walked down those same steps and they touched the same doorknobs and ran their hands up and down the same banisters. That's really something that inspires me on a daily basis.
It's hard not to get lost in the fairy tale, but Hopwood is quickly brought back to reality.
I'm in a hard hat and work boots every day.
He's chronicled his adventures of restoring this 600-year-old castle on his YouTube channel.
Probably my most exciting adventures are when we find a secret room or a secret doorway, which has happened a number of times. Even a few weeks ago, I was in there and found a new room I'd never been in. We've dendrodated the trees that were used to make the timbers in the walls, so we know it goes back to the 1420s. Historians think that it goes back much further than that.
Hopwood isn't alone in this work to restore the castle. Many of the residents of Middleton have a special connection and are helping in the efforts.
I met one woman whose grandfather had been the chauffeur, another whose grandfather had been a gardener, another whose great-great-grandmother had been one of the cooks. And these big houses weren't just family homes. They were places that the community came to. They were places that guests came to visit. They would have concerts and artists come and visit.
But work to restore the castle is far from over. In fact, Hopwood admits it could take a lifetime.
It just feels like it has sort of been meant to be, and if I can save the hall and leave it behind for future generations, for many people to enjoy and experience it, then I think I'll be happy with that.
Oh my goodness, what a story! That is so fascinating,
know.
so beautiful.
He's actually able to open up 2 parts of it in June, so they can start having tours, and eventually going to be able to stay there, and they're going to have, it's going to be a cultural center, you know. He's also in the process of redoing the gardens. They actually found the roots to the roses that grew there in the 1700s.
Oh my
So they're
goodness.
bringing those back to life. It's just really something.
Well, how can we learn more about this?
Oh
Because
my
I'm
gosh.
fascinated by it. I'm on
Then
the
you
hook.
want to pick up his book, Downton Shabby, appropriately called. He talks a little bit about growing up in Holland and how much this part of his life here in West Michigan really impacts what he's doing now. He's in town if you want to meet him. He has a book signing tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at Schiller Books on 28th Street in Grand Rapids. So yeah, it's a great book, lots of pictures, and it was a wonderful interview. I could have talked for hours.
Well, and the thing is, I'm a huge fan of Downton Abbey, and so
Yes.
I could just imagine when you were showing the pictures what that must have been like.